It's the day of Major Lomas's grand Canapé night, and after being unimpressed with the trial run, Harry's decided to lend a hand making the 1200 posh nibbles.
How are we going with that halloumi? Have a taste of that, yeah, what? Yeah, happy with them? Brilliant, well done. Take yesterday off.
After the trip to Borough Market, they've raised the bar with some quality produce, including scallops with black pudding, heritage tomatoes and air-dried mutton.
What I want people to do tonight, I'd hope they're going to go, well, I've never had that before, and when they taste it, they'll go away with a bit of a wow factor. If they don't, I've failed. I'll be looking for another job.
The privates Katrina Davis and Kirk Davis are dropped in the deep end, making their own canapés.
I've been put in charge of this section here, so my backside's on the line.
So are you working with us tonight? So you did earlies, what time do you start? 6:30, that's late. 6:30.
For Katrina Davis, London's busy function season is the ideal chance to learn her trade.
Every time I do it, I always learn new stuff, different ways, like this. I've never done this before. So you always learn new stuff because people have always got new ideas. It's great.
But despite the pressure, Major Harry Lomas always has time for an inspection.
What is that hat? You look like something out of Dad's army. No, it goes on your head. Okay, I don't need it on your eyebrows. That's it.
With Harry's work done, it's time to transport the canapés to the party location.
So we've got to move location, to get into the kitchen, get everything out, and then carry on from there.
The Canapé night is held at Horse Guards, former HQ of the British Army, to celebrate the beating of the retreat parade. The military tradition dates back to the 16th century, when the marching bands would tell soldiers out on the town that it's time to get back to barracks. After watching the parade from the splendour of what was once the Duke of Wellington's office, the Major General's guests will repair for the finest food and wine.
You need to get the first one.
Somebody smells good. Who is it?
Yeah, it's me. Oh.
For Harry's team, who normally cook to a budget of £1.75 a head, this is a chance to turn on the style.
Tonight's the chance for the chefs here in London District to show off what they can actually really do with food outside of normal routine army menus for the benefit of the Major General and his guests.
At the finishing kitchen, Master Chef Danny Taylor's on hand to rally the troops.
Right, when we're in here now, this hour's going to go quickly. When we're up there, it goes even quicker and the food gets banged out. We're on the money shots up there. There's two voices heard, there's mine and the staff's. I don't mind anyone else speaking as long as it, I'm just doing it now. Alright? Happy days.
Sure.
Tonight, Danny's reputation is at stake.
Got to be up there, 7:30, all the food. If it ain't up there then, it ain't getting served. If it doesn't get served and we run out, it's my balls on the line, so it ain't going to happen, that's all. It ain't going to happen.
As the bands of the Household Division entertain the guests on Parade Square, the Army chefs pull out all the stops to get the canapés ready for service.
Right guys, at any time in the next 2 hours you find yourself not having a job, ask. You'll soon get one.
The smoked salmon, wild boar pate and mini burger come together just in time.
Only touch the underside of the trays, please. I don't want fingerprints on them.
With the esteemed guests assembled, it's time for the bite-sized wonders to hit the floor.
Right, tray man, you need to be quicker. Someone else jump on the trays with him. As soon as they're done, I want some more cold doing up.
So what do the VVVIPs think of the canapés?
Delicious, and I found myself eating a scallop which I wouldn't normally like, and then I ate it. Very enjoyable, very impressive as well.
Miniaturisation's quite nice. The little mini burgers.
To be honest, I've been a bit of a pig. I've had the whole lot.
To be able to feed an army on operations and feed a Major General on a special occasion such as this, to do both is quite outstanding.
So Danny's posh nosh gets a thumbs up from the guests, but has he managed to please Major Lomas?
He hasn't come through, he hasn't looked at me, gone bright red, started sweating, so for me, I've made him happy, and the team's made him happy. He won't come through and bring me a cake or anything like that, no.
Everybody I've spoken to thoroughly enjoyed the eats, and that's what it was about. People have gone away saying, wow, what was that? What was the combination of that? How did you come up with that? I would imagine that the youngsters, when they're on operations, which is where these guys are going to end up, they know they've been feeding the Major General, we've been feeding VVIPs, so feeding the guys on operations doesn't seem all that daunting anymore.
It's on operations where chefs really prove their worth, serving fresh meals to frontline troops who often live on ration packs for weeks at a time.
The appreciation you get for a hot meal is unbelievable. It does actually make the job worthwhile.
Very good. It's exceptional.
And cooking isn't their only skill. They are also fully trained soldiers. In 9 years of service, Lance Corporal Sarah Brewer has been on numerous operations.
Cyprus was my first posting when I was 17, and then I've done 2 UN tours out there, and I was really nervous to come over here because I obviously didn't know what to expect.
One thing Sarah has come to expect is the traditional army banter.
The guys try and give me crap and I just give it back. I don't give them the satisfaction of winding me up.
But no one's laughing when it comes to the vital and dangerous role female soldiers play in gaining the trust of local Afghan women. Today, Sarah's leaving the safety of the compound to join a patrol of the surrounding area.
Even though I'm a chef, I trained to be a soldier, a soldier first, and I think being a chef is my second job.
Captain Gillette is leading the patrol.
All right, fellas, listen in for details of today's patrol. It's going to be a ground domination patrol, also dropping off some humanitarian aid. If we just quickly talk about the enemy forces, the threat from suicide ID remains critical. Does anyone have any questions on what we're going to do today? Okay, ready to move in 10 minutes.
Their mission is to reassure locals whilst also investigating insurgent activity. It's a daunting prospect for Sarah.
I'm petrified, but, I'm a soldier, so, the chefing comes second, really.
It might be a hearts and minds mission, but security is still the top priority. Roadside bombs, suicide attacks and landmines are a constant threat to patrols.
Just seeing this check stop here, there's been suicide bombers, so we're quite cautious when we come down here. Even though it is quite close to home, you're not safe 100 metres from the front gate.
They've made an unexpected discovery, a makeshift camp in a remote part of the desert. Captain Gillette wants to check it out.
Nick, the slight drama is that there's no men here, so the women are quite afraid.
Because of local custom, the women are reluctant to talk directly to the male soldiers, so Sarah acts as an intermediary.
Corporal, if you can just explain, so it's your voice, because there's no men here, that we've got some humanitarian aid to drop off.
But she also faces the potential danger of landmines or booby traps.
Yeah, we'll bring one up.
Just explain.
Yeah.
That nobody's helped them before.
Okay. Well,
I think that's why they're scared.
Okay, the last thing we want to do is cause offence, so if they'd like us to come back when the men of the compound are home, we can do.
Sarah's found out that the family living in this makeshift camp have fled the recent fighting in the north of Helmand province.
We can't do much today. I'll make a note of this and I'll report it back to our commanders so that they are aware that there are refugees, because we didn't know there were refugees in this valley.
Leaving essential provisions for the refugees, the troops move on.
Now those people have a shit life.
Close to 1 million Afghans are refugees in their own country. Seeing how they live has been a real insight for Sarah.
It was an eye-opener. It's not a pretty sight, to be honest. I didn't think it'd be anything like this. Because they don't have anything. Nobody's been up there before. horrible.
Sarah's contribution to the patrol proves there's a lot more to army chefs than just good scoff.
While she does most of her work in camp, she is a trained soldier, but I do understand that it's not necessarily in her comfort zone, and as you saw, she coped fine with it.
Back home in Blighty, amongst the sunny spires of Windsor-upon-Thames, the day has arrived for Major Harry Lomas's annual summer dinner party. Harry has arranged for a team of chefs from 15, the restaurant founded by Jamie Oliver, to cook the feast assisted by his young army chefs.
This is an ideal opportunity, working with 15 guys and the mentors from 15 to really bring on our chefs. And likewise, 60 portions to go out at one time is quite a mean feat. So I think it'll be a bit of an experience for the 15 guys as well.
Right. The chefs will all work together to produce the mammoth menu.
We're just going to pour our egg straight into the middle.
As well as the fresh pasta course, there's sea bass and risotto. But the centrepiece of the menu is the classic army main course, beef Wellington. And making 60 portions means an epic military operation. The beef fillet is trimmed and sealed, then wrapped with mushroom stuffing in a crepe to keep the juices in. Finally, it will be encased in freshly made puff pastry, ready for the oven. But the ingredients from the army ration store are not quite what Simon was expecting for his Madeira jus or posh gravy.
You asked for beef stock, but we've got this stuff.
Accident-prone, Kirk Davis almost cut his hand off at 15, so it's a heightened state of alert as he prepares to slice some spuds.
Keep your hand flat so you don't cut it. You get on that. You shouldn't theoretically be able to cut yourself.
Right, we'll get a box of pastas ready because I've got a feeling it's going to go peak tongue.
Warrant Officer Roger Marshall is Harry's man in the kitchen, and he's keen to learn the fancy pasta dish.
It's a pasta that was originally only made for the King of Italy. Nobody else was allowed to eat it.
Never?
Yeah.
Then what did we put inside?
Spinach and ricotta filling.
Yeah. And then we put an egg yolk on top.
Egg yolk on top, that's it.
And then that's the semolina, is it?
Yeah, semolina just stops it sticking. You can stop it sticking with flour.
Right.
And then when you blanch them, the flour will form a like gooey dumpling on the bottom,
okay.
where semolina will just drop off and go to the bottom of the water.
Brilliant.
Private Katrina Davis is assisting pastry chef Kieran with desserts. Katrina's just 6 months out of training, but having also worked as a civvy chef, she's trusted with the tiramisu panna cotta.
So I'm just filling this up so I can fill up the panna cotta moulds. It's so cool actually. It's better than using a ladle and spilling it everywhere.
Executive chef Andrew thinks that for his team of highly trained chefs, this should be a walk in the park.
Coming over to the barracks to work in this kitchen is quite relaxing, really. It's a bigger kitchen, it's an open kitchen, you know, and it's only one service tonight anyway, so it's just a relaxing day, to be honest.
But has he spoken too soon? They've hit an enemy roadblock in the shape of some faulty army frying pans.
Right, Chef, the pan is not the best. Like it really
the fish is getting stuck and could be ruined. The team try to find at least one non-stick pan.
Tiring that big pan.
Why don't you do it in the brat pan?
So that's why I said use the brat pan. It won't stick like that. Fish, Mark, let's do it. Yeah, do it. Right,
the giant brat pan can cook 80 litres of curry at a time, but how will it cope with the delicate sea bass fillets?
It's getting too hot. And it's making oil burn and obviously go dirty. Obviously the presentation looks shit. So we're going to have to try another method.
Fortunately, 15's Dave may have found a solution. This small pan is up to the job, but now there are 60 fillets to fry.
It's going to be a patience job, isn't it? Just me and my fish for about an hour.
With the fish just about under control, surely nothing else can go wrong.
The only thing you have to worry about is beef Wellington. If you leave them in too long, the beef will be We get them out too early. It's a terrible dish to choose to do for a dinner like this, but especially when I've never made it before. Let's check if this fits in the oven. Of course not. It would be too easy.
Coming up, will the chefs overcome their equipment problems?
These ones are my art.
Or will the diners have to take matters into their own hands?
Oh, you're cracking on nugget.